Race number one of our Big 10 race program kicks off at the normal time of 5:30 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. UK time. It's the Azizi Creek Views. Numbers for me, 6, 14, 1 and 3. Going with Breakdancer on top here. I think put a line through his UAE debut at Abu Dhabi. It certainly wasn't a track that was suiting him and his race style. He was unfortunately caught in a quite a precarious position, and unfortunately towards the back end of the race, it just made his chances of winning near on impossible. Just unfortunately, the dimensions of the track can do that to many horses at the Abu Dhabi Turf Club. Back onto a bigger surface here at Meydan, into a race that's been split, so you'd say the quality has dropped slightly in these two divisions, being spread out across both of the events. And as a result, from a nice draw of gate 6, I expect him to be running a good race off the rating of 80. James Doyle engaged. He looks a great play in the first, my first of 4 for the meeting. The second event is the Azizi Riviera for the purebred Arabians. It's over the 6 furlongs on the dirt, and it's sure to be a pretty hotly contested contest with plenty engaged. My numbers here, 9, 10, 6 and 7. Didn't have a confident selection in this race, so it's a no-play event for me. Number 9 on top though, Uptown Walk the Line. Impressive at Allan in his victory last time out. He's my narrow top selection here. In this event, I had a couple that certainly made a good case. Jamra SB, another one here for Ibrahim Al Hadrami, who should run a good race. Now, the number 1 rider is not engaged. Ray Dawson has opted with AB Sakar, who I also have in the numbers, but has drawn very wide on the course here at over 1,200 metres. It's near on impossible to win from 14. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it will certainly suggest that the statistics will be against him here on Friday night. As a result, he's my 4th selection. Look, I also made a case for Zuhair. I thought the win at Abu Dhabi last season was impressive. He was very underdone for his first run back on the turf at Abu Dhabi. We don't know how he'll go on the dirt. We'll see how he fares at Meydan. But look, an exciting contest coming up here in the second race. No real push, but if I had to have one on top, it's Uptown Walk the Line. Race number 3 is the Burj Azizi. It's set to go at 2:40 p.m. UK time. It's over the mile on turf. And despite the wide draw, I'm sticking with Arno Domini here. Richard Mullen rode last start, and although the horse ended up finishing down the track, placings-wise, finishing 9th of 14, was only beaten about 2.7 lengths. It was a blanket finish on that race. I think between 1st and 10th, there was only sort of 2.9 lengths. So it was a very good finish, and I expect him to come on from that run. Look, the wide draw is a slight concern, but I think has enough of the back straight to hopefully slot over and find a spot. Has to carry a little bit of weight. It's a low confidence race for me. I thought 5, 4 and 3 were potentially the dangers, them being English Oak, Rajiko for Michael Bell, could be a nice night for them, and Flight Plan. I think he'll go better with a run under the belt here now that he has seen the track and experienced the lights here at Meydan. It can be quite an experience for a few of these horses the first time. 1, 5, 4 and 3, not much confidence in the third. Could be the theme of the night, where I'm kind of in the corner of William Buick and Charlie Appleby for a good chunk of the night, but none of those horses are plays for me, and this is the same here in the 4th race. It's 65 to 85, the Azizi Rivi, 1,400 metres, and it's set to kick off at 3:15 UK time. Bakali on top for me draws a nice gate here in gate number 7. Expect him to be running a nice race here for this first time out in the UK. His runs at Kempton Park and also Wolverhampton leading into it on the all-weather were impressive enough. He doesn't strike a very strong field here, and although he might not be at his absolute peak for this, I think the class will prevail, and he may just have enough there to be winning this event. Numbers for me here, 1, 7, 3 and 4 made Smart System my second selection. I've got just as much confidence confidence in him. Look, Ali Al Badwawi's stable, very low strike rate this season. They've usually had a few winners by now, and they just haven't been able to do that. Draws a good gate, smart system down to a winning mark. I expect him to run a very good race for them. He's probably the horse that can win for them in these next couple of weeks that they have stepping out. Flamma Sunshine and Muzahim in the numbers as well. But yeah, Bakali on top just from smart system. But yeah, tough race to decipher. There's certainly a few hopes in it. The Azizi Milan is our distance race on the dirt, 2,200 metres for these runners. 350 is the jump time for UK, and it's a tough one to unpack this event. There are quite a few horses who should run a good race. I went 3, 1, 2 and 11, sticking with gun carriage again. Kieran Fallon jumps aboard for Dylan Cunha. Look, he was caught on the inside. The winner came from the same spot, so there was no excuses, but it did go to show that although he handles the surface, he certainly doesn't handle the kickback. As a result, I'm not too disheartened with the fact that he has a wide draw, 2,200 metres. It'll be run pretty neutral. I expect him to potentially be kept wide and maybe cover that little bit of extra territory just to stay out of that kickback and let him run his own race. I can't tip him here as a potential play on the meeting, just of how underperformed he was last time out when he raced, but he's on the quick back up here, and I expect him to run quite well here. 3, 1, 2 and 11. Prince Ruse, Shepherd and Lodge both can win on their best form here and can win comfortably. And 11 I'll throw in there as well in Antrim. This one here, a addition to the Carl Burke yard, Sam James to do the riding, and locally owned as well, with Al Lath Racing colours jumping on board the horse here for the first time. Once again, 3, 1, 2 and 11, tough race. The next few races are certainly races I don't mind at all. My second play comes up in the 6th race, 14, 6, 8, 13, my numbers, and I'm siding with the 14 here in Do or Do Not. Look, I don't think he's the horse that's going the best here in this event by far, but he's weighted to win this race. He's got between 4 and 8 rating points on a good chunk of this field, and as a 3-year-old, he comes into this carrying 53 kilos. Sam Hitchcock jumps aboard, and looking forward to seeing how Do or Do Not goes. I mean, the stable are pretty confident that 1,200 metres is his trip, and he gets that here this evening. I have no knock on a few others in the race. Right here, right now, Safi Osborne decides to ride it instead of Do or Do Not. That's a nice push in the way of the Richard Spencer runner. 6 and 8 also a hope. Indian Springs narrowly missed last time out. He will go up favourite, and he'll be the horse to beat on paper. And Harsim always gets back and rattles home, so he's an honest one for your top 3 plays. But I will go with Do or Do Not here. I think it's D-Day for him with the weights and him carrying 53 kilos here. He's not going to get a better chance to win an event, and yeah, I'll stick with him here. I think he's a nice play. Our feature comes up in the 7th event. It's the Cape Verde, the Group 2 here for the 4-year-old fillies and mares, and also the Southern Hemisphere 3-year-old fillies. This one is set to go at 5 p.m. UK time, 1,600 metres on the turf. Small field. Races and entries were reopened for this event because of the small number, but we do go with 6 in the end. And it's very hard not to side with the horse right at the top. It is the former South African Quid Pro Quo, who is now in the care of Jerome Reynier and has made its way across from France. Had the one run in France before making its way here to the UAE, but just strikes a very nice race here. A clearly highest rated horse here by a considerable amount of points. Look, I mean, Dubai Treasure on her day is a nice horse as well, but I just don't think anything here has the quality of Quid Pro Quo. I think the horse will open up a short price favourite, and it looks one of the best on the night. I might be going a little bit rogue here in the Cocoa Beach Stakes, with a lot of these horses having raced each other before, and Labwa certainly standing out as the one to beat here, and I think the market will agree in this conditions event. Goes off at 5:35 UK time. Nice field here for the 3-year-old fillies. And I am siding against Labois with a horse who was running on behind in impressive fashion. That was 60 for Michael Bell. Ben Cohen rides once again. She just got too far back, and unfortunately the race was over by the time she got to the corner. There was just too much ground to have to make up. I think with the look at the track and the opportunity to experience the Meydan race night, I think she will come back a much improved horse here, and I think she's had more time to develop a little bit more fitness as well. So look, I'll side with 60. I expect her from 10 to settle midfield, and hopefully she's only within a few lengths of the leaders as they turn for home. But yeah, 60 on top for me. 2, 1 and 4 were my others. Labois obviously goes in for second, has set the benchmark for this group of fillies so far. Happy to respect Zala, and also I think can bounce back after the unsuccessful run last time out. It was a fabulous debut though, 2 starts ago. 6, 2, 1 and 4, but it's 60 on top for me, my fourth and final play for the meeting. Race number 9 is the Azizi Mina. It's an 80 to 100, and the off time is at 6:10 UK time. Cavallo Bay on top. He sets the standard here for the race. He has drawn slightly wide on the course, and as I mentioned earlier on, it's the theme of the night. William Buick and Charlie Appleby could combine for a couple of winners at least, but every horse that they have, in some way, shape or form, there are certain things that are against the runner, this one being a wide draw. But the horse has travelled before, a place getter in Del Mar at listed level, and has had a couple of group placings since that novice win at Haydock Park back in July of last year. I think he sets the tone, but again, hard to be tipping as a play on the race. You will get under market value for all of these runners with the certain aspects that they have to overcome in these races on Friday night. So hard to be tipping them as betting propositions. 9, 5, 11 in as dangers here. Silent Defence was great at a price last time out, willing to respect him. Folk Festival's got to be thrown in the numbers, and Silver Sword should run a good race for connections once again. 1, 9, 5, 11, no play in the 9th race. We wrap up the last race with a 1.5 mile contest on the turf, and once again, Endless Victory, my on-top selection, has a good draw coming into this race last time out, but look, his concern is that he was so far under expectations last time out of where we thought he would finish in the 2,800 metre contest, where he ran in 6th position there on that occasion behind the likes of Burdett Road and Meydan. I think he finds an easier contest, but it's hard not to knock him going off the fact we thought he would run a lot better on paper. 2, Claymore in for second. Aeronautic is an interesting element to the race, a new arrival here in Dubai for Joseph O'Brien, and French Duke goes in for third. Nice and easy in the last 1, 2, 3 and 4. I think Endless Victory will open favourite, but he may be too short to play in the last race.